Sharon's here. Yay. Good evening, everyone. Hello and welcome to A Course in Miracles. We are on day 5. Wow, this is just going so fast. And I'm here with my beautiful co-host, Karen Palmer. Hi, Karen.
Hello.
And a whole group of A Course in Miracles sensationalists. And we're so excited to come together every night. And I love that Karen starts us out to get us into a really good place. So Karen, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Okay, so this is our lesson from Holy Shift. And it is another beautiful moment to just quiet the busyness of our day and just drop into our heart. Take a moment to really receive these words and let them just float all through your emotional, spiritual, mental, and physical body so that you are just letting it just drop in. Thinking about all the things that you're grateful for, or maybe just one thing that you're grateful for. And feeling your breath just slowing down. Noticing how your thoughts are starting to slow down too. And the message is, whenever you are not wholly joyous, it is because you have reacted with a lack of love to one of God's creations. So think about that, a lack of love to one of the living beings on the planet with us right now. Maybe that lack of love might be even directed toward yourself at times. And this is a really beautiful lesson, because when we are wholly joyous, we are living in that beautiful collaborative will of God. So I just love that lesson. And I think that it's a wonderful way to segue into lesson 5, which is almost one of my favorite lessons in the whole book. And I find myself constantly telling myself, I'm just too happy to be upset. I'm just too happy to be upset. I'm not going to let that be something that can upset me. And the lesson is, I am never upset for the reason I think. So Teri, do you want to share what Pam has to say about that?
Sorry, I was a bit distracted. I would like to share that we have a really beautiful audience, and you all have heard me talk about Captain Corey and how much I appreciate the lessons I've learned from Corey. His mom is with us in the audience. Can we all just say hello to Pixie?
Hello, Pixie. What a great name. I love that name.
I do too. I love her energy too, Karen. I'm so happy that you joined with us, Pixie, and Annie, and C. Megan Michael, and Suzanne. Thank you for all of you coming in. I just want to give gratitude to Karen, and gratitude for A Course in Miracles, and of course for all of you. You are also dear to my heart. I was in tears this afternoon reading this chapter from Alan Cohen, from his A Course in Miracles Made Easy. And I want to share the story that he told, because I think it's for all of us to really fully understand the power of how we project onto others and how we project our thoughts into something that's totally not real. And that's what we've been doing, is trying to bring our focus into the fact that whatever has meaning to us, we give it that meaning. And this story that he tells just drives this home. It makes such perfect sense and such a perfect way to explain what we're trying to understand with these lessons. So I'm not going to read it word for word, but I'm going to tell you the gist of it. And if you have the book, it's in chapter 5, and it's called Only Blessings Remain. So this guy had, and I believe he's talking about himself, he had a friend, a guy friend. This is a male that's writing the book, and he had a guy friend, and they walked to school every day in their high school days. And he said one day, and he didn't know why he did it, he put his arm around his friend's shoulder, innocent, just like, this is a great day. Come on, this is good. We're having fun. And he said his friend shrugged his arm off of his shoulder. And so he felt very uncomfortable then. He thought that he had offended him in some way, or he'd taken the wrong message from that. And so they didn't talk. And then they graduated, they went off to college. And so years later, when he was an adult and he had a business, and in his office, his assistant told him there was some guy named George on the phone that wanted to talk to him. And he's like, oh, okay. And he looked at the name and he's like, wow, that was my friend from high school. And so he called him up, and they agreed to meet and have lunch. And he told his friend, he goes, I'm very sorry if I offended you. I didn't mean anything. It was, such an innocent, and the guy goes, what are you talking about? And he's, when I put my arm around you and you shrugged it off. And he said, the guy told him, he goes, I don't remember that. I do not remember that incident. All I remember is that you waited for me every morning, even in the rain. Isn't that powerful?
That's really powerful.
Yeah. The things we think are so monumental that we have built up in our mind that, I did something, or I said something, or I offended somebody, or they're mad at me, just throw all of that out the door and communicate.
Yes.
Just a moment of communication would have cleared that up. But because he was projecting onto his friend that there was something wrong with him doing that innocent act, they didn't talk for years and years. Yeah, such a powerful explanation of what we're talking about and how we're deconstructing constructs and how we give things the meaning that they have.
That happened to my family, where two sisters, well, actually it was a sister and a sister-in-law, got offended, and they didn't talk for years and years. And then after many years, they couldn't remember what it was that they had got offended about. So I like what you said. A minute of communication would have cleared that up.
Mm-hmm.
But we get embarrassed, I guess, and we don't try to explain, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, I love that. I love that story.
Yep, I do it too. It happened with my mom and my uncle for a couple of years. And then they make an effort up, and the end encourage my mom in my hospital care. So my baby brother came up to New York, and then they make an effort up. Then a few weeks later, I saw some of my cousins. See? I'm very happy.
Yeah. Completely.
So can we do a little check-in and see how you all did with the exercise from yesterday? Not everybody at once, please.
Well, I'm going to be first to say I missed you all yesterday. I had a wonderful experience facilitating a workshop. And it seems this is I think the third or fourth year I've begun the Course of Miracles, and I get all the way through February or March. Then something happens and I skip and I'm in November and there we are. You too, Jean. So if you would politely remind me what the lesson was for yesterday and what we were supposed to do, Karen?
These thoughts do not mean anything.
Oh, you know what? I did practice that. I've made an intention to see love in my finances. And so, and that they will expand and become one with spirit. So yesterday, anytime I thought something, I used yours, Karen. I was stop, spirit, take over, please, all day long. To not have those thoughts mean what I had attributed them to mean.
I love that, Sharon. You know what I've found myself doing? Saying, I forgive myself for thinking.
Oh,
I
yes.
forgive myself for thinking. I forgive myself for not, taking that moment to say, stop, spirit, take over, please. And
Yes.
and ask spirit or love, what would you have me see here? How would you have me, what would be the best thought for me right now? What would be the best way for me to respond to this? Just, it's such a beautiful thing when you take that moment to pause and you say, spirit, take over. And then I'm sorry, I forgive myself for thinking I can think without you, spirit, because spirit, I want to be only following your prompts. And that's my intention for this year, is to have presence only for me to follow the presence of prompts. And that's it. I don't want to do anything more than follow the prompts. So that was my experience yesterday.
I think that what the exercises that we're doing when we wake up, we have the meeting at night. When we wake up, they're predominant in our mind, and we wake up and we apply it. At least that's the way I feel I do. And then as the day goes on, you're continually applying it. And usually by evening, I forgot what it was that I was supposed to be doing. But I'm still doing it. Right before we started meeting, I went in to check on the grid. And I found out I had bought a new candle that I thought, a new angel that matched the other one that looked more like they matched. So I put the other one away and I used the new one. Well, she dripped wax all over the grid, the new candle. Where in the past I would have been like so upset. And I just looked at it and I said, I guess you're not going to work, honey. I'll just move you over here and we'll figure out a use for you. And I put the other angel back. So I think part of this course has helped me not get upset about things, to actually think in a much more loving way, instead of just getting mad at myself or things. I don't know if that makes sense, but
Total sense.
yeah, it does.
Completely.
Completely, yes, Jean.
Thank you. Oh, I love that. Anybody else want to share? We have some sharing online. Charlie, did you want to share anything?
I wasn't here yesterday. I played hooky, so. But I did read it right before we came on, and like to come from love instead of from the from the hate or whatever, and and not going into the ego and and yelling and stuff. And I was into that all day, the ego and yelling. So I didn't do the lesson, and I probably should have. Probably
What
should
happens when
have.
you do the lesson?
Probably should have started this morning, and
Oh,
maybe
you're
I would
here
have.
now. That's the most
I would
important.
have had better
You're here.
outcome.
Yeah,
A
you're
better
here now.
outcome of the day. So
Yeah.
it's I guess I'm learning by doing the wrong thing, and learning at the end of the day that I should have started the day,
Okay, there's no shoulda, woulda, couldas in here.
Right.
So just make a
No
commitment.
right or wrong.
Just make a
Right.
commitment going forward. Okay, I'm going to give this a
We're in
try.
the no judgment zone,
Right.
right? Sharon,
Yes,
we're in no
So-
judgment, just love here.
That's
Right.
it.
So I got to come more from love than
There you go.
from,
All right.
than from my ego.
And Roz looks like she wants to share.
Rosalind wants to speak. Hello, Roz.
Hi.
Yeah.
Hi.
So if I understand it, we were supposed to not label which ones are bad or good. And so I thought it was a practice of not avoiding low vibration emotions, but more like how not to hold on to an emotion. So just allowing ourselves to witness, because maybe the exercises we don't want, by avoiding, it's rejecting yourself's emotion. So maybe it's a practice to be allowed to feel, or replace that feeling with what is the intention. So when I caught myself thinking of something negative, I said, well, what's the intention? And so there was a space, a gap, that I was able to catch that thinking.
Wonderful.
Beautiful, Roz. Thank you. Christine, what would you like to say? And then I'll
That the
comments.
beautiful thing we wasn't would say, and I believe we're like 100%, and I believe I'm gonna be on way flying to not drinking soda anymore. So that's a plus. So more will bring with tea, Teri. And I will try to put coconut oil in my coffee.
Oh, that's wonderful.
That's wonderful, Chris. Making positive changes. That's what we're all about.
Yeah, and it's when by fast I want to lose it more. I want weight.
Yeah, awesome. So I'd like to read two comments. The first one is Suzanne. She's with us. Everybody say hi, Suzanne.
Hi,
How was
Suzanne.
you with
And
that?
she says, this is the second time I'm attempting A Course in Miracles. This time is so much easier for me. I have no resistance at all. It's easy for me to follow because I can just accept. I love that. I had a conversation with Suzanne today, so I'm really, really happy that she's here with us doing this. And Kathy Hand said, it's my third year reading each daily lesson. Some things I really started to understand, but I'm here for more clarity on some of the more obscure lessons. Thank you. Thank you to both of you for being here, and all of the rest of you that are there in the room. So happy to have everybody.
You know,
So-
Terry, I want to mention some of us who are in Pam Grout's book, because we had already had it. When we started, I didn't go to the first of the book and reread it because I had already read it, you know. But I forgot she calls God dude.
Dude,
And when I was reading the lesson today, I thought, what dude? What's she talking about, dude? And then I remembered. So I thought I should mention it in case anybody else might have forgotten she calls God dude. So
I remember that very well from her E squared experiments.
Yes.
The dude exists. I love that Pam Grant. She's so special. So, their next lesson, I guess that's where we're at. And I love what Pam wrote about this lesson, lesson number 5. And if I can, it's really short, so I'll just read that. My friend's mother, who's visiting from her homeland of China, can't speak English. She likes to walk around the neighborhood, and because she's friendly and always waves, neighbors attempt to strike up a conversation. Her mom smiles, and even though she can't understand a word, says, I love you, goodbye. The dude is like my friend's mother. It sees me as perfect, beautiful, and amazing creation, and can't understand the unhinged dialogue that runs like a ticker tape through my mind. It just keeps saying, I love you, I love you.
She's hilarious.
I love her, and I love the way she just takes common everyday things and it can bring out these lessons so profoundly. So yeah, this is this lesson today, Karen, if you want to share what the lesson is, I just love how we can build on each thing that we've done so far and
can't hear you.
to bring us to today. You can't hear me.
Can't hear you, Teri.
You can't hear me?
Oh, there you are now.
I can hear you.
Oh,
I don't know what you did, Charlie, but I'm still talking.
okay. I wasn't hearing you.
Okay, so the lesson is lesson number 5, and it is, I am never upset for the reason I think. This idea, like the preceding one, can be used with any person, situation, or event that you think is causing you pain. Applying it specifically to whatever you believe is the cause of your upset, using the description of the feeling in whatever term seems accurate to you. The upset may seem to be fear, worry, depression, anxiety, anger, hatred, jealousy, or any other number of forms, all of which will be perceived as different. This is not true. However, until you learn that form does not matter, each form becomes a proper subject for the exercise for the day, applying the same idea to each of them separately to the first step in ultimately recognizing they are all the same. When using the idea for today for a specific perceived cause of an upset in any form, use both the name and the form in which you see the upset and the cause which you ascribe to it. So you're going to fill in the blank here. I am not angry at for the reason I think. I am not afraid of blank for the reason I think. But again, this should not be substituted for practice periods in which you search first your mind for sources of upset in which you believe and have forms of upset which you think are results. In these exercises, more than in the preceding ones, you may find it hard to be indiscriminate and to avoid giving greater weight to some objects than to others. It might be helpful to precede the exercise with a statement, there are no small upsets. They are all equally disturbing to my peace of mind. Then examine your mind for whatever is distressing you. regardless of how much or how little you think it's doing so. You may have found yourself upset. You may also find yourself less willing to apply today's idea to some perceived sources of upset than to others. If this occurs, think first, I cannot keep this form of upset and let the others go. For the purpose of these exercises, then I will regard them all as the same. Then search your mind for no more than a minute or two and try to identify a number of different forms of upset that are disturbing you, regardless of the relative importance you may give them. Apply the idea for today to each of them, using the name of both the source and the upset as you perceive it. I am not worried about blank for the reason I think. I am not depressed about blank for the reason I think. 3 or 4 times during the day is enough.
I love this lesson. I really do. And Kathy said it's the perfect lesson for her tonight as well.
Yeah.
I think for a lot of us, because sometimes we tend to have something that we want to blame for us being upset, angry, depressed, whatever that overwhelming emotion is. So I love that we've taken the time to deconstruct that things don't have a meaning except for what meaning we place on them, right? And then we can go into, oh, that's not why I'm upset at all. And go into just letting it go and letting it be, and knowing that everything is neutral. Every experience is neutral. It only has meaning because we give it meaning. So I love this one. That's right, Kathy. She's already applying it. Yay.
All
She's filling in the blanks. I love that. You know, I'm going to say what I tell everybody with every class I teach, every workshop, whatever I do. You're going to get out of this what you put into it. So if you apply these daily lessons and you just go into it with an open mind and you just say, let me just see, let me give it a try and see what happens. That's all we can ask. And to know that whatever you're doing, if you're giving it 100%, you're going to really benefit from this study that we're doing. And I'm just loving. I can't believe we've been doing it for 5 days already. Can
Yeah,
you-
me but too.
Yeah, it's mind blowing. But anyway, we're out of time.
right. Thank you, Karen and Teri.
Any
everyone.
questions? Does everybody understand the assignment?
Oh, yes.
Okay. Well, I look forward to tomorrow and more discussion about this and see how you all did with this. I've got some things I'm going to apply it to tonight when
Me
first thing in the
too.
morning. And Julie Kiss as well. Love you this lesson. Julie, thank you for being here. I know Lena's here, Lena Zoffman. So thank you all for being here. We'll be back tomorrow, 8 o'clock for more lessons. And right now we're going to start our chanting. If you'd like to stick around for that, you're very welcome. If not, have a great night, day, whatever it is where you are. And thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sharon.
You're
Love you. Thank you,
welcome.
Sharon.
Okay,
Well,
bye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so I need to go turn off the restream for the group because I'm only streaming the Course of Miracles into the group. So let's go into our chanting. While I'm doing that, Karen, if you will talk about Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha, and I will take care of business here on this end.
Okay, so this is where we're going to chant 3 times slow, and then we'll chant 108 times all together. Beautiful Auntie Jean will let us know when we get to that magic number. And then beautiful Teri Angel will lead us in a short meditation on freedom, and then we'll go into our second chant. So we declare that all obstacles be removed. Om
Om
Ganapataye
Namaha.
We declare that all barriers, conflicts, and violence be removed. Om Ganapataye Namaha. We declare that all illusions and illness be removed.
Om Ganapataye Namaha.
Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Ganapataye
Namaha. Namaha.
Om
Ganapataye Namaha. Namaha.
Om Ganapataye
Namaha.
Ganapataye
Namaha.
Ganapataye
Namaha.
Om Ganapataye
Namaha.
Om Ganapataye
Namaha.
Ganapataye
Namaha. Ganapataye Namaha.
Om
Ganapataye
Namaha.
Om Ganapataye
Namaha.
Om Ganapataye
Ganapataye Namaha.
Om Ganapataye
Ganapataye Namaha.
Om Ganapataye
Ganapataye Namaha.
Om Ganapataye
Ganapataye
Om Ganapataye
Namaha.
Om Ganapataye
Ganapataye Namaha.
Om Ganapataye
Petaye
Om
Namaha.
Ganapataye
Namaha.
Om Ganapataye
Pay Namaha.
Om
Ganapataye Namaha.
Om Ganapataye
Ganapataye Namaha.
Om Ganapataye
Pay Namaha.
Om Ganapataye
Pay
Om
Namaha.
Ganapataye
Pay Namaha.
Om Ganapataye
Pay Namaha.
Om Ganapataye
Pay Namaha.
Om Ganapataye
Pay Namaha.
Om Ganapataye
Ganapataye Namaha.
Om Ganapataye
Ganapataye Namaha.
Om Ganapataye
Ganapataye Namaha.
Om Ganapataye
Pay Namaha.
Om Ganapataye
Pay Namaha.
Om Ganapataye
Ganapataye Namaha.
Om Ganapataye
Ganapataye
Om
Namaha.
Ganapataye
Ganapataye Namaha.
Om Ganapataye
Ganapataye Namaha.
Om Ganapataye
Ganapataye Namaha.
Om Ganapataye
Ganapataye Namaha. Hey
Namaha.
Namaha. Namaha.
Om Ganapataye
Hey Namaha.
Om Ganapataye
Ganapataye Namaha.
Om Ganapataye
Pay Namaha.
Om Ganapataye
Pay Namaha.
Om Ganapataye
Pay
Namaha.
Namaha.
Om Ganapataye
Ganapataye
Namaha.
Namaha.
Om Ganapataye
Ganapataye
Namaha.
Namaha.
Om Ganapataye
Ganapataye
Namaha. Om
Namaha.
Ganapataye
Ganapataye
Namaha.
Namaha.
Om Ganapataye
Pay
Namaha.
Namaha.
Om Ganapataye
Ganapataye
Namaha.
Namaha.
Om Ganapataye
Ganapataye
Namaha. Om
Namaha.
Ganapataye
Ganapataye
Namaha.
Namaha.
Om Ganapataye Namaha.
Pay Namaha.
Om Ganapataye Namaha.
Namaha. Namaha. Ganapataye Namaha. Ganapataye Namaha. Ganapataye Namaha.
Ganapataye
Namaha.
Ganapataye
Namaha.
Ganapataye
Namaha.
Ganapataye
Namaha.
Om Gam Ganapataye
Namaha.
Om Gam Ganapataye
Namaha.
Om Gam Ganapataye
Ganapataye Namaha.
Om Gam
Ganapataye Namaha.
Take a breath into our heart center. That beautiful energy of freedom is right there when we let go. Just release anything that's keeping you tethered, anything that feels heavy, any of your have-tos, whatever it is, your barrier, whatever obstacle. It's so easy just to say, I release this with love, and then feel that beautiful feeling inside. It brings us to a higher vibration, up, up, up to a higher plane. That's where we meet the miracles, and that's where we're going with Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. But first, let's welcome our miracle Marlene with us tonight. Hello, darling Marlene. I'm so glad you're here. So, Karen, if you'll talk about the chant, I will type the words in.
Okay, so this is where we chant 3 times slow, and then we'll chant 108 times all together as our beautiful family. Beautiful Auntie Jean will let us know when we get to that magic number, and then beautiful Teri Angel will lead us in the next part of our session. So we declare that all are accepting, aligning, allowing, and awake. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. We declare that all are happy and healthy. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. We declare that all live in peace and harmony and are open and ready to receive miracles. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo.
Myoho Renge Kyo. Myoho Renge Kyo. Myoho Renge Kyo. Myoho Renge Kyo. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. Myoho Renge Kyo. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. Myoho Renge Kyo. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo.
Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo.
Nam
Nam
Myoho
Myoho Renge
Yo,
Kyo.
Kyo.
Nam Myoho Renge Kyo.
Renge Kyo.
Myoho Renge Kyo.
Myoho
Nam
Renge
Myoho
Kyo.
Renge Kyo. Nam
Yo,
Myoho Renge Kyo. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo.
Myoho
Nam
Renge
Myoho
Kyo.
Renge Kyo.
Renge
Nam
Kyo,
Myoho Renge Kyo. Nam
Yo,
Myoho Renge Kyo.
Renge Kyo.
Nam Myoho
Yo,
Renge Kyo.
Renge
Renge
Kyo,
Kyo. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo.
Yo,
Nam Myoho Renge Kyo.
Yo,
Nam
Yo,
Myoho Renge Kyo.
Yo,
Renge Kyo. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. Myoho Renge Kyo. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. Nam
Yo,
Myoho Renge Kyo. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo.
Yo,
Myoho Renge Kyo. Nam
Yo,
Myoho Renge Kyo. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. Nam
Yo,
Myoho Renge Kyo. Nam Myoho
Renge
Renge
Kyo,
Kyo. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. Nam
Yo,
Myoho Renge Kyo. Nam Myoho
Renge
Renge Kyo.
Kyo,
Nam Myoho Renge
Yo,
Kyo. Nam
Renge
Myoho Renge
Kyo,
Kyo. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo.
Yo,
Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. Nam
Yo,
Myoho Renge Kyo. Nam Myoho Renge
Yo,
Kyo. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. Nam
Yo,
Myoho Renge Kyo. Nam
Yo,
Myoho Renge Kyo. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo.
Yo,
Nam Myoho Renge Kyo.
Renge Kyo,
Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. Nam
Yo,
Myoho Renge Kyo. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo.
Meow,
Nam
Joe,
Myoho Renge Kyo. Nam
Joe,
Myoho Renge Kyo. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo.
Meow, Joe,
Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. Nam
Joe,
Myoho Renge Kyo. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo.
oh,
Nam
Wayne,
Myoho Renge
Joe,
Kyo. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo.
Wayne,
Nam Myoho
Joe,
Renge Kyo.
Joe,
Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. Nam
Joe,
Myoho Renge Kyo.
Joe,
Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. Nam
Joe,
Myoho Renge Kyo.
Joe,
Renge
Yo,
Kyo.
Wayne,
Nam Myoho Renge Kyo.
Joe,
Nam Myoho Renge Kyo.
Wayne,
Nam
Joe,
Myoho Renge Kyo. 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 Nam
Joe,
Myoho Renge Kyo.
Wayne,
Renge
Joe.
Kyo. Nam
Yeah,
Myoho Renge
whole
Kyo.
windy
Nam
too.
Myoho Renge Kyo. Nam
Yeah,
Myoho Renge Kyo.
yeah.
Nam Myoho Renge Kyo.
Windy
Nam Myoho Renge Kyo.
too.
Nam
Yeah,
Myoho Renge Kyo. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo.
windy
Nam
too.
Myoho Renge Kyo. Nam
Windy
Myoho
too.
Renge Kyo. Nam
Yeah,
Myoho Renge Kyo.
whole
Nam
windy
Myoho
too.
Renge Kyo. Nam
Yeah,
Myoho Renge Kyo. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo.
yeah.
Nam Myoho Renge Kyo.
Too.
Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. Nam Myoho
Yeah,
Let's go back into our heart with the breath. Breathe right into your heart center, connecting in with your higher self, connecting in with your creator, feeling the energy of love and compassion. We're going to chant Om 3 times, giving all honor and glory to our creator. And then we'll stay in our hearts for a moment and connect the heart and the brain. And then take another moment to share that love with the world. So take a deep breath in and let's begin the chanting of Om. Om.
yeah. Um, um,
Hold that love and compassion. Just envision you're holding it like it's a ball of light in your hands. Can you see that? Can you envision that? Hold that ball of light, which is your love energy, your life force, chi energy, coming to the outside of you. And we're all going to send our balls of light up into the air, letting them go out to our world, all over Earth, wherever light is needed, wherever love is needed. Let's just take this moment to really focus that light and that love into our world. Throw that ball as far and as wide as you can throw it. Shanti, Shanti. Om, peace, peace, peace. As I was envisioning that love that we're sending forth, going into the world, I saw it flying into nations, flying into where there's conflict and where there's oppression, where there's poverty. We just keep sending that every day, and we do this every night when we're here together. Keep sending out those arrows of love from your heart. And it is our desire that these love balls that we're sending forth, all of this love and light energy, go where it needs to go, touch who it needs to touch, and may peace prevail in our world. Om Shanti.
John.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Every night we make a declaration that there is peace on earth. And I think since our Charles skipped yesterday, he's going to lead us in this tonight.
Oh,
You got voted.
Yep.
this is something we've been doing 948 days now. And what we do is we count down from 3 to 1. And what we do is we declare that there is peace on earth, because we know deep down in our hearts there is. And if we send it out, it will get there. And we do this 3 to 1. We declare there's peace on earth, and we declare that it begins inside of us. So we're going to count down 3, 2,
2, 1.
We declare that there is peace on earth, and we declare that peace begins inside of us.
So it is.
And so
Always.
Ever and ever.
Remember.
Amen.
Amen.
And we do this as a group known as the
The
Peace for
peace for peace.
Peace is up there somewhere.
Peace for Peace. That would be us.
And you're a piece too.
And
Everyone.
you're a P if you're out there.
And Jean.
You're a P. She's a P.
P.
Wouldn't you like to be a P too?
Yeah. Yeah.
It is the
Mm.
happiest thing in the world to
Aw.
be.
Oh, I love that, Jean. Thank you. Thank you. And we've been just trying to do the best we can with Gracie's songs at night.
I
Because she
know.
tells us that
The hills
the hills
alive.
are alive with
With
the
the
sound
sound
of
I'm chanting.
and the sprinkling of peace.
Peace.
Smiles on faces.
Faces.
And peace is coming around the
around
mountain
the
when
mountain
we
when
can.
We
Peace
can,
is
is
coming
Over
around
the
when
mountain
we
when we
can.
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 Peace
Peace
coming
coming
around
The
around the
when we
mountain
smiles on people's faces.
faces will
can.
be
Peace is
Around
coming
the
around the mountain.
when we can.
Nam Myoho.
Now,
Nam Myoho Renge
Oh,
Kyo. Oh, what a beautiful time together. Thank you all. Thank you for your love. Thank you for your heart's desire to bring more peace into the world, more joy, more compassion, making it a world that works for all of us, not just a few. And our miracle Marlene, thank you for being with us tonight. We love you so much. I'm so glad that you found us. She was having a bit of a difficulty because she wasn't getting notified about the chanting anymore. So I've been hopefully remembering every night to share that to you, Marlene. And thank you for coming in.
She can come in at 8 o'clock if she wants for the miracles.
Yeah, I shared with her that we do miracles at 8 o'clock.
Okay. And they wanted us to read something tonight from the God Makes the Rivers Flow. Page 56, Auntie Jean, if you're there. If you got the book.
yes.
You don't, I can read it though. It's
Okay.
fine. It's from the Kenya Upanishad, Upanishad. The Invisible One. The student inquires, who makes my mind think? Who fills my body with vitality? Who causes my tongue to speak? Who is that? Invisible One, who sees through my eyes and hears through my ears. The teacher replies, the self is the ear of the ear, the eye of the eye, the mind of the mind, the word of words, the life of life, rising above the senses and the mind, and renouncing separate existence. The wise realize the deathless self. Him our eyes cannot see, no words express. He cannot be grasped even by our mind. We do not know, we cannot understand, because he is different from the known, and he is different from the unknown. Thus have we heard from the illuminated ones, that which makes the tongue speak, it cannot be spoken by the tongue, known that as the self. The self is not someone other than you, that which makes the mind think, but cannot be thought by the mind. That is the self indeed. The self is not someone other than you, that which makes the eye see, but cannot be seen by the eye. That is the self indeed. This self is not someone other than you, that which makes the ear hear, but cannot be heard by the ear. That is the self indeed. This self is not someone other than you, that which makes you draw breath, but cannot be drawn by your breath. That is the self indeed. The self is not someone other than you.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you, Charlie.
Okay.
There is no separation.
That's the invisible one.
It's just all, we are all one. Thank you. What a great way to end us tonight. So we are going to say our good nights and thank you for being here. Stay in your hearts and stay blessed. We love you so much. And we leave you with
Nam
Yeah.
bye, everyone.
Morning,
Tomorrow.
afternoon, evening, wherever you are.